Hello and welcome to another episode of the Get Out of Gaming Plus podcast. I am one of your hosts, Ben. With me is Alex.
Hello, hello.
I was waiting for the hello. We are a total geeky, nerdy podcast, talk about everything from video games to anime to movies. You name it, we do it. We have a podcast that releases every Wednesday for the audio version on all major podcast places. And then on YouTube, we have a video version that releases on Friday. Please check us out on Facebook and Twitter as well. Let's get right into it. We got some great stories. We're going to talk about the future of Call of Duty. Respawn had some very interesting news with Star Wars. And Netflix has a price increase because they're greedy bastards. But before we do that, let's talk about what we're playing your hidden trophies. Alex, I think it's going to be a quick segment. Alex and I already kind of talked about it, but Alex, What are you playing are your hidden trophies?
So maybe I don't know how long this episode is going to be, because to be honest, I feel like some of these stories are really good, but they're really short. So, to talk about some things, I don't think I had it yet, but Banjo-Kazooie came out, I think last week on Nintendo Switch online. You can play Banjo-Kazooie with Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pass. So you should be able to experience that, the N64 version, not the Xbox Live version. And it's very, very good. I've been streaming it when my internet decides to work over at twitch.tv/cheatar02, pronounced cheatar02. But you won't really notice any lag. And I think they actually possibly either fix the emulation in general, or there's just some update, or maybe Banjo-Kazooie just isn't really affected by this kind of stuff. Just because Banjo-Kazooie felt like there was no lag, or if anything, it felt like I was playing it on an N64. N64 3D games didn't have great frame rates, to be honest. I feel like the frame rate is somewhere around 22 frames instead of 30. Right. 22 to 25. So there's some frame issues here or there, but it feels like I'm playing a retro game, so I don't think there is any intentional lag there, compared to something like Ocarina of Time in the original, when it originally came out in November.
I think it was November.
Yeah, November or October. But yeah, whenever that came out, because there are issues with textures and lighting and fog effects and all that stuff, and there was a significant amount of delay. You can get used to it for sure, but you would notice it immediately. Whereas with Banjo-Kazooie, I didn't really notice anything. Maybe if I really pay attention, I would notice something. But I'm playing it with my Nintendo 64 controller, the Switch controller, which is amazing. I love that controller. As far as the stick goes, everything else is kind of weird.
Right.
Because there's so much precision, because there's so much resistance on the N64 analog stick, since it is their first stick. So you can really creep and walk very slowly. That's why there are quite a few things in Mario 64 where you slowly creep on or walk silently around sleeping piranha plants. Whereas if you try to convert that to any sort of virtual console or something like that, until just recently with the new release on Switch, you would just there'd be two settings. There'd be stationary and running. There's no other setting, because new sticks don't have that precision or that resistance of barely walking. And that's why a lot of games have Yakuza or something like that, you would hold R1 or L1, so then while you're moving the stick, you would be stuck in a walking mode instead, or vice versa, holding a button to run. But yeah, with an N64 controller, you can just hold it all the way to run, or hold it midway or whatever, anywhere in between to yeah, make sure that you're walking, because there's a lot of difficult platforming, if you caught any of that, because like yeah, especially there's a particular place in the third level, Bubble Goop Swamp, where there is a collectible that you need to get, but you have to like step on a switch, and then the collectible, the jigsaw puzzle, the jiggy, um, is has a timer for like 10 seconds, and it's game timer, so it's not actual 10 seconds, it feels.
Of
um
course.
yeah, it's like Mario seconds, like that's not actually a second, like it's way faster than a second at least on original Super Mario Bros. But you have to like navigate around like a really narrow path that's like curved and stuff, and so there's a certain point where like you have to like walk around and then maybe just jump for it, to fully get it. But if you don't get it, then you fall down, you can possibly die, from the swamp, but then also you have to go through a huge maze just to get back to that part and then try again. So that took me like a couple tries when I was streaming that. Normally it doesn't, but I don't know. I think it's just I'm used to playing the Xbox 360 version now because it's 60 frames and all that, or the rare replay version. It's the same thing. But yeah, playing the original version, the way that's intended, where like there are repercussions for dying, like you don't keep all of your collectible, like for like notes or like Jinjos. Instead, there's like a high score thing. So like there are 100 notes in a level, and if you die, um, the game, I guess, was supposed to count them all, but there was like a glitch or something, so they just couldn't implement it on the N64. So instead, it does a high score. So it just remembers like, oh, you collected 50. Next time, try to get all of them or something like that. Whereas on the Xbox 360 and Rare Replay versions, it just remembers that you got all of them or got whatever ones, and the rest of them are just left out. Um, Honestly, makes it a little harder because it makes it a little harder both ways. Because in one way, it's nice if it remembers the notes, so you don't have to go collect everything. But then also, a lot of those puzzles or collectibles, there are paths to get to certain places. So without having those paths and you're just missing the other random ones, you're gonna have to go exploring just like without a map essentially. Um, so that makes it pretty difficult.
Which, by the way, I have watched Alex play it. It's totally a fun game. So it's been cool watching you play it.
Yeah, I like that game a lot. It's one of my favorites. I personally prefer it over Mario 64, just because it's a better Mario 64, in my opinion. It's better platforming. I feel it has, or more forgiving platforming, because there's like hover mechanics and stuff like that. Um, it also doesn't suffer from Mario 64, where you go into a painting and into a world, and there's just one objective, and then you have to hop out and then go back in. With Banjo Kazooie, for the most part, there's like one where I had to go to a different level, come back. You can just do everything in one go, and that's what I really like about that game. You go to the first level,
Yeah.
Mumbo's Mountain. You just go and get all the collectibles. You find all the Jinjos. You find all the Jiggies. You find all the notes, Mumbo tokens, whatever. And then you can just look at your totals, and it says, "Yep, you got everything." And then you're like, "Cool. Now let's leave. Let's go to the next stage. Do everything at once. Leave. Go to the next stage. Do everything." That's how I play it personally, just because it's not that hard, and then also you get rewarded for getting everything. Like you get more eggs at the end, you get more feathers, and both flying feathers, like the red ones, and the gold ones for like invincibility for like the final boss. So if you get like more notes, more jiggies, all of that, you can use those to have a buff for the final boss. So yeah, I'm looking forward to streaming more of that. Honestly, we'll probably beat that this week, I feel, unless something
I mean,
else
you're right.
happens.
I know you were talking about how you were really close. So
Yeah, and like I am, let's see, I don't know how many hours. I think it said 4 hours, 4 hours and 1 minute. I think that's what I saw last time. Um, into the game. So I've been using save state to keep my game going so I don't accidentally lose it. But otherwise, I haven't been using it to like, I don't know, like forgive a death or anything like that. I just have it like when I quit a stream, I have a save state of like, all right, we're in front of this world now, just so I don't have to do all that again. Because if I wasn't streaming it, honestly, I'd probably just try to play it all at once. So or if I had time, I'd just probably just try to play it all at once. So yeah, it's not really world record or speed running records because of the way that we're stopping and starting, but it might still be impressive. I want to say I got under 9 hours the last time on the 360 version, so I'm really curious what's going to happen with Rusty Bucket Bay, because it's notorious for having the hardest platforming, and you just fall into a pit and you just die, and then that's it. So as far as hidden trophies, we have the same thing. So I mean, I guess we can show those off to the camera. For audio listeners, we both got our NES controllers for Nintendo Switch, and they feel amazing.
I'm going to tell you, and I've, obviously behind me you can see my NES collection. This feels like the NES controller I grew up with. And I've been playing Mario 2 with it on my Switch,
Yeah,
and there's not a lot of delay,
yeah,
which in those games you cannot have delay.
yeah,
This is probably the best wireless controller that I've used ever. Besides like PlayStation 5, but I'm telling you, like this thing looks and feels like it. And the battery life is good.
yeah,
I was impressed. Our buddy Zach, who I know listens, had mentioned in a group chat that we're in that hey, these are $34.
yeah.
They're
Half off.
yeah, and so as soon as I saw that, I jumped on it and I bought it. I kind of wish I bought two to keep one in a package. Uh,
Yeah,
oh, but these things are amazing, and I will give it to Nintendo. Uh, Nintendo does really good craftsmanship, and these
yeah,
are pretty sweet.
yeah, for sure. The only downside I would say with these is that they don't have a USB-C plug. They just
Yeah,
have the put on the sides of a Switch, like the Joy-Con charging type thing to it, which is funny. If you put this in like a Nintendo Switch, you can use it with these two like that. Like you use like
yeah,
you can technically use it. I tried and it feels weird. Feels
it feels
floppy, I
super weird.
guess. Yeah. But yeah, that's my pretty much my only complaint with them is that there's no other additional way of charging them. So if you did get another set and you actually did open the other set as well, then you wouldn't be able to charge four at once unless you got some sort of charge
Right.
cradle or something like that. Um,
Well, in my house right now, like on my desk right now, I've got so this is my desk here in my office. Like, let me show you what I have real quick since that. So I've got the Gen 1 Switch right here, right?
okay.
Audio listens, I'm holding up the red and blue Joy-Cons. And I also have, I just got this, my Animal Crossing Switch. So I've got docks all over the place. We also have a um, one of the brand new switches upstairs, the OLED one.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got that as well. I've got places to charge all over the place. Uh, now this OG switch never gets used. I will tell you that right now. I am the only one that uses it.
Yeah.
But Alex talked me into the Animal Crossing one because I was going to leave it in the box. He's like, you might as well take it out of the box. It's kind of a waste.
Yeah.
Um, So the Animal Crossing one goes into my bedroom because my wife plays Animal Crossing, and then this OG one sits on my desk because I plan to do some streaming here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, this is my only real thing. I have been playing a ton of Halo. Every time that Alex is streaming, he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Playing Halo.
Oh, I
I
can
am now
tell.
like, yeah,
Discord
uh,
Discord tells on you. It says playing Halo Infinite always for you.
Yes, I've been playing a little bit of that, and then Mass Effect Legendary Collection. I've been playing Mass Effect 2. I am going to do it without being a dick the whole time. That is my goal: is to not be a jerk the whole time.
All right.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I sometimes go back and forth, um, but I've noticed that better things happen when you're nicer. So
Yeah, for the
yeah,
most part. I think there are a couple things where like you have to be assertive for like a good ending, but otherwise, like yeah, for the most part, as long as you're nice, you're good because um they might think that you're playing sides if you're like yes for both like sides.
yeah,
Because yeah, I've never I'm bad at playing those types of games in the sense of I play those games mostly paladin mode or whatever, where that's what they call it, right? Paladin, where like you're good for the most part. So yeah, like I honestly play a lot of those games, like Fallout and stuff as well, like how I would actually make decisions. Um and then like I generally never go back and do like a bad playthrough because I just can't. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like psychological. It's like, man, I don't want to be mean to this guy, but also it might
yeah.
just be I've already played this. I don't want to do this a different way. I don't think this is worth
Well,
it unless it's something like Undertale where it's worth it to get a completely different game by being mean to everything.
like I will tell you that if you are mean in Mass Effect 2 because you have some scarring, it does not heal, and it gets worse and worse and worse if you're a jerk all the time.
Hmm.
It gets to be like really bad. Um, excuse me, but yeah, that's what I've kind of been playing. I've just kind of been playing those. These things are great. I was actually playing as well Double Dragon 2, and you have to have a really quick response time on that, and I've had no problem. So
Nice.
that is my hidden treasure. So let's just jump right into our news stories of the week. Uh, the future of Call of Duty. Obviously, Microsoft had a giant surprise for everybody when they are in the process of purchasing Activision and Blizzard. Um, we kind of talked about it on one of the other podcasts, but what, you know, excuse me, there's like a whole thing here, and there's a tweet um, from Phil Spencer, and I'm going to read the tweet here. It says, "Had a good call this week with the leaders at Sony. I confirmed our intent to honor all existing agreements upon the acquisition of Activision Blizzard and our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Sony is an important part of our industry, and we value our relationship." What do you think about that, Alex? What are your thoughts on that?
It seems like, as far as I've heard and seen some other things, actually, I don't know if. Let's see. Hang on.
You're fine. Take your time.
I'm thinking. Um, I was gonna say something, but then I don't think it's necessarily true anymore. What I was gonna say, they're gonna treat it much like how they treat. I mean, I guess Ori is a good example, maybe, because I think that is Xbox Studios technically. But how they treat Minecraft in the sense of like it's on these other systems, so you should be able to just play them there still, and they're still going to honor those environments. Now, I was gonna say Minecraft and be like, yeah, Minecraft, and like they're still gonna make stuff for Minecraft. They haven't made Minecraft since PS4. I don't think there's a PS5 version for Minecraft yet, if I remember correctly. So,
Oh,
like, I know there's backwards compatibility and things, but as far as like a PS5 version, I don't know if we're gonna ever see that. So, that's kind of why I was like, kind of Minecraft, because like, yeah, they're honoring Minecraft, like, because it still technically exists on PS4, and I guess it can play backwards compatible with 5. We're not gonna see like more of that. Or same thing with like um I think it was Sony who redid that, where like they were getting the map packs early or whatever for Call of Duty. So like they're going to um keep all that and existing agreements. So I mean, I guess for a few years now, depending on how long that is, unless they can negotiate otherwise. Call of Duty will have their maps still first on PlayStation, and it'll still come out for PlayStation for that allotted time, and then maybe then Call of Duty will just be an Xbox PC thing.
And I feel like Microsoft and Phil Spencer, these are some really smart people. They know that if they were to say, look, Call of Duty is going to be exclusive on Xbox, they would be losing out of millions and millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, literally millions of dollars. So they know that. And it's not like back in the day when like Nintendo had Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis was out. Like they hated each other. That was ugly. But nowadays, I feel like it's like a common ground of like, look, we're both going to sell our systems. They're going to be out at the same time. We're going to have a lot of the same games. There's no reason to really trash talk each other. And there really hasn't been a ton of trash talk. Even with the 4,
Yeah.
when they announced the 4, they did the whole thing of like, this is how play used games.
Yeah.
It really wasn't a trash talk thing. These companies have mutual respect for each other, but one thing Microsoft loves the most is money, and they have to make this, $68 billion back. And to say, oh, it's going to be exclusive on Xbox may work to their benefit. It may not, but they know that, hey, if we put it on both systems, we're going to double the amount we sell.
Yeah, and I wonder. So I also wonder if they would be more inclined to keep it, and like continue to have Call of Duty. So like, say like my theory where they're gonna have Call of Duty until a certain point, until those contracts are up, then Call of Duty is just fully exclusive otherwise. Um, if Sony finally tries to get their act together and does what's that called? Um, Everyone can play together, whatever that's called.
Oh,
Crossplay.
Yep, crossplay.
Yeah,
Yep.
crossplay. Like if if Sony finally does that and open up to that for the most part, because they're doing it on certain games, but if Sony finally opens up to that, then I feel that Xbox would be more willing to work with them, and then maybe we would see more partnerships like this. Because I know like Nintendo Switch has Microsoft crossplay with Minecraft, so you can play Minecraft with those and stuff like that. And I know, like for example, I think it's Switch can. Well, maybe they changed it. But I know for a while with Fortnite for like Epic, you could play crossplay with pretty much everyone. But my Sony was like for the longest time, no, we're not doing that. So everyone else got to play together except Sony. Sony was in their own little bubble doing their own little thing.
Yeah.
But because they just like to stay on their own for some reason. But yeah, if I feel like if Sony is more cooperative in the future, then they might still get to keep Call of Duty. But who knows?
I think they will. I know in the last episode we talked about what's Sony's next big move. What are they going to buy? Because it seems to be that they buy something else when they do. I don't see that happening. I think other things. I think they're going to announce something um, else that if we get time, we'll talk about it more on the podcast. But I think that's what they're going to do, and I could be wrong, but I really think that they're there. And also with last thing on Call of Duty, they want to work with Microsoft on this.
Yeah.
And it makes sense for them to work together.
Mm-hmm.
They're both. I think I saw a report on IGN that said, by the end of this year, Sony is going to outsell Sony's new console will sell the new Xbox console 2-1. And that's even with the shortages.
Yeah.
So I know that Microsoft is smart and they're like, look, we gotta have to work together on this. And they can keep their Bethesda like first party games because we still have our Sony studios and stuff like that. But it should be interesting to see how this plays out. But I think they're gonna play together. I mean, it it would be dumb not to because there's millions and millions of dollars in Call of Duty on both systems.
Yeah,
So
yeah, but at the same time, Sony's Sony, and like we've talked about it maybe last week, but Sony is mostly they're not thinking Japanese anymore, it seems. They're thinking very much
right,
Western audience. So um so like yeah, they might be more open to becoming crossplay and all that eventually, and working with Xbox, and eventually um just every game can just play together regardless of the console you have or whatever. It just, yeah, there are some exclusives here or there, but all the third parties buy it where you want to and then play together. And there might be
really.
paywalls between the two, but um yeah, I mean, it should work fine. I would think so.
Excuse me. Yeah, you would think so. So we'll kind of have to wait and see. I mean, this acquisition, this purchase, it's going to take a while. It's going to take about a year or so,
Yeah.
uh, to get this all done.
Hmm.
So, but some other good news. Uh, so EA confirmed that Respawn Entertainment will work on new Star Wars titles. There's going to be a Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order game, a second one, a first person shooter game, and a strategy game. And that's all they said. This is according to, is it Nimble, right?
Yeah, like there are other places where you can find this. Like there's an EA like news article um talking about all this. There's also on StarWars.com. Honestly,
Yeah,
a lot of it had a lot of fluff about like this is why Star Wars is great and all this other stuff. So I thought we just go to the Twitter who gives us all the hot news and just sweet and concise. Um, yeah, but yeah, Nibel. And let's see. Yeah, Respawn will directly develop the next Star Wars Jedi title and the new Star Wars FPS led by Peter Hirschman. Uh, the new strategy game will be published by Respawn and developed by a new formed studio, Bit Reactor, formerly the Fire Access Games lead devs. But as far as other existing Star Wars things, um, Battlefront 3 is like dead. Like no one's gonna be making Battlefront 3 anytime soon. It's just these three plus the other Star Wars game that's being made by Quantic Dream, and then there's another one I think too. But otherwise, that's about it.
I am excited to see a strategy game is going to be great.
Yeah,
They do it right. It's done by the same people that have done other really great strategy games. But the first person shooter gets me because I knew they were not. I had a hope of Battlefront 3, but I was like, man, they got so much crap on 2. Uh, so I doubt it. But the cool thing is, this is a newer company taking over. It's not Dice. So,
yeah,
we could get a Battlefront type game, and I'm okay with that. I want to be in the Star Wars universe as a shooter, being able to play as stormtroopers or the Rebel Alliance or Boba Fett. But now we have new characters because of Disney shows. So we've got new Boba Fett.
yeah.
We've got the Mandalorian. We've got the huge set of Mandalorians that have shown up.
Yeah,
So
there's a lot that you could do for sure. Quick question for you. I don't know if we've talked about this at all. Have you ever played Republic Commando?
yes,
That plays
uh,
like Rainbow Six, right? Like old Rainbow Six, like where you have people and you tell them what to do.
yeah, I almost bought it because they have a dual copy on Switch and PS4,
Mm,
but I remember how awful it was
okay.
because you cannot. It's not a run and gun. It's like
Yeah.
Gears of War where you have to make good decisions. But what sucks, unlike Gears of War, you have to put your troops in the right way.
Mm,
Uh, so that's the only thing I didn't like about it, and it is very hard. It is
yeah.
unforgiving.
Because it sounds
But
good on paper, and I was thinking like maybe like this FPS or whatever could revisit something like this, because we don't really have much in a lot of uh, we don't really have much in Clone Wars. I'd like to see more
I
Clone Wars games, because everything is Galactic Republic or Galactic Conquests with the Empire and all this kind of stuff. But there are certain things like that happen in Clone Wars, whether that's the TV show or whatever, um, that are really cool, and like a lot of the clones do really good work. So it'd be really cool to see them do things there, especially with new lore and new things that they do. They can connect it to the shows, connect it to the movies, connect it to all of that. And you can, similar to like Battlefront, like you could have a chance to maybe like you would have your general or would be like Obi-Wan Kenobi or something like that, like how it is in the show. Um,
yeah,
like you just follow him and like you see him doing cool things and then he tells you where to go or whatever. I think that'd be a really cool thing to do. I'm just kind of speculating, but like yeah, just thinking about Republic Commando and like how good that sounds on paper, I would like to see them try to revisit that type of formula for a newer game with better devs and better environments and all this kind of stuff. I think it would do fairly well, especially because people do like single player games a lot.
I never finished Jedi Fallen Order. My son did. Loved it.
I didn't like
Loved
it.
it. He played it twice. I had my problems with it, but what I would want from a shooter is along the lines of the original, like PlayStation 2 Battlefront.
Mm,
And that's what I want. I want that style where you play as a soldier and then you can work
yeah.
your way up to, you get random picked, or if you do really well, you can play as a
Instant
but here's
action,
the
do all that fun stuff.
yeah, but the cool thing is like because now you have not only the live action stuff, but you have the animated, so you can play as people from the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Uh, you can play in that universe, and this would be a good chance to play as clones.
Yeah.
But each clone have a different ability and a different style of play. I feel like in Battlefront 2, especially, like, okay, so you played as a sniper and he had these guns,
Yeah.
but that's it,
Yeah.
as where a heavy has a little more armor, but make them equivalent to what they're doing. So if you're a sniper, you can't just run into battle because you have weaker armor, but your shots, make better, more damage or whatnot. And then let's bring up everybody. Uh, Spoiler alert from Book of Boba Fett. They have introduced a brand new character. And I don't know if you've seen it yet, Alex, or not. The bounty hunters from the slash gladiator fighter slash bounty hunter black
Yeah.
Wookiee.
Hmm.
If I could play as him in a first person or a third person shooter like that,
Yeah.
done. That'd be the coolest thing to be able to rush up to people and take them down. Um, I actually like playing as Chewbacca in those games. But I mean, obviously it's Chewbacca. It's not as violent as this guy. Uh, but you have so many areas you can go to. You can, you can do. So I think these are cool. We will probably, my thought is summer when E3 is not happening and everyone's doing a showcase anyway, like virtually. I think we'll hear about these games because they've already been in development from the look of it. There's been something.
Hmm.
So we'll see something. I guarantee it'll be Jedi Fallen Order, but I want to see the other two as well, even if it's just like a non-playable like video.
Yeah. Now you said something like, yeah, um, like I don't know. I enjoyed Bad Batch for what it was, but I also watched it before the better show, which is Rebels. Um, but like having a Bad Batch game wouldn't be bad. No pun intended. Because like you can make it take place before the show because they were just Clone Force 99. They were just doing their own thing, having these like really like covert or missions or what have you, like doing these big missions for the Republic.
Yeah,
So like yeah, you could have different people to play as. You wouldn't necessarily. I mean, you could have Echo because he shows up later into the Bad Batch, but you could do it even before him, and like have them just actually yeah, it might be good. Yeah, that's 4 people. Yeah, 4 Hunter, Record, Tech, and Crosshair. So like yeah, that'd be a good um, group of people who you could play as, and just depending on who you play as, you're having a different play style. So yeah, I think that'd be really cool.
and
I don't know if they'll do
I
it, but
yeah, how cool would it be to be able to play in like a Battlefront type game as a sand person?
that'd be
Dude,
cool.
that would be kind of cool. It'd have to be more stealthish, but I mean, I'm glad somebody else is taking it, and I'm glad they're doing a first person shooter.
Yeah,
Um, but if they are going to do it, I want to be able to go into third person as well.
yeah,
We'll have to wait and see. And I think they'll do a good job. I mean, this company that's taking over looks pretty much like a good company,
yeah,
and I think that people now have learned from the mistakes of Battlefront 2. So they're gonna whatever they're gonna do is gonna be different. I'm more excited to see a game run 60 frames on a PS5 or an Xbox Series X in that universe. Um,
yeah.
I have not downloaded it on my system here. I have played on PC on ultimate settings, and I will tell you, it's a whole different game.
Oh yeah,
I'm
I'm
playing
sure.
higher settings. But yeah, we'll keep you guys informed on there. Alex, let's talk about something that I told you really pissed me off today. I got an email from Netflix today.
Yeah.
It now I have the ultimate one, which
Yep.
so basically I have the Ultra HE, the premium um, membership. That gets me up to 4 screens at once, and it can go into 4K.
Yep.
Uh, in this time, it's gone from 15.99 to 17.99. It is now going to raise to 19.99 next month. And they tried selling me on the email. They're like, "Oh, these are the reasons why it's gonna be great. We have games now." No one's playing your games. First off,
Yeah.
and if they are, it's very small numbers. Second of all, the last time you guys raised it, you guys were on top of everything, and they only raised it because they even said publicly they wanted to make more money.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, how does this make you feel?
Personally, I don't pay for Netflix. That's one of the things that I don't pay for, but family members do. Um, but yeah, we have the same plan that you do. I was looking at this plan a few days ago because yeah, this news came out a little while ago. Um, but I didn't know that they had a basic plan, which is pointless. Um, they're even raising that. It's going to be $10, and you get one screen, I believe, and it's not even HD.
Yeah, it's 480.
Yeah, like who? It's 2022. Who is doing that? Nobody's doing that. The only people who would do that are people who don't have internet or are not even watching Netflix. They're gonna go to the library. They're gonna go get movies that way, or buy movies from cheap places. Like if they can't afford this, like this isn't a good deal for anyone because the people who would get it aren't getting it. Um, and then yeah, like the standard plan used to be 14, which is the one just the regular HD plan with like I think 2 screens. Now it's going to be 1550, which is a stupid number. Um, I don't know why it's like that, but then yeah, like you said, the 4K plan is gonna be $20.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's dumb.
I my problem is if they raise the price. That's my cat, by the way. If they raise the price and didn't come out out and say, "Look, we just wanted to make more money," I get that, but they came out and said that. They came out and physically said, "We want to make more money." is what we want to do. And to me, that's not okay. That's not okay to say, "Oh, we're just doing it because the board members wanted to make more money." Um, and I'll be honest, and I've said this to Alex several times. There are a couple shows I watch on there, but there's nothing I watch on there all the time. I spend more time watching either Hulu or HBO Max
Yeah.
or an HBO Max. Really, to be honest, I watch more stuff on there now that they've got all these Comedy Central shows showing up.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, and true TV shows that are just randomly showing up. I spend more time on HBO Max than I do anything. So, HBO Max is $14.99 a month, and I automatically get it because I get it on my Hulu, and so I get HBO Max for free because I pay for HBO on Hulu.
Yeah.
I just, I mean, I'll pay for it because I do share with my parents, and my parents are homebodies, and they watch my kids for free. And
Yeah.
My mom literally has Netflix on every day, all day long. You know,
Wow.
whether it's Cocomelon for my youngest or whatever,
Yeah.
but they're on there all day.
I wonder
So
if this is like Netflix they bought the stuff they bought all these exclusive rights to certain things like Seinfeld. They recently got Seinfeld for a
yeah,
ton of money. I wonder if they're so in the red right now and that's why they're increasing the price because they can't afford because they spent so much money on like Friends for the longest time. Is Friends still on there? Or did it finally go away? Because I know they spent like $1 billion on Friends or something ridiculous, and they probably did the same with Seinfeld because Hulu had Seinfeld, and that's the only thing I watch on Netflix is I just turn on Seinfeld and let it go. And honestly, Hulu's player might be worse, but Hulu's way that they organize episodes and things is so much better than Netflix because they have playlists. They
right.
have like the top 10 episodes of Seinfeld, for example. They'll have like all the ones with what's his face, Putty. All the episodes with him, like this kind of stuff. Instead, if you want to watch like the good episodes, you're gonna have to go through the seasons one by one and try to find it or go onto a website instead of just having a curated list. Like that's what I love about Hulu is that they seem to really care about like making things convenient.
Right, and there's a lot of shows that I will watch on Hulu the next day after it premieres on live TV or cable TV. Like Law and Order SVU, I actually went through and watched Your Love Us. It took me a year, but I've gone through and watched every single season of Law and Order SVU,
Mm,
and I'm caught up now. But like they have new episodes starting now, so
yeah.
I'll be able to go on there and do it. The only thing that made me mad on Hulu is I was watching Chicago PD and I was really behind, like a whole like half of a season, and
Oh,
then
they
they
took
just
some of them off.
yeah, and so
Yep.
now it's just a current season, and I don't remember what the last episode I watched was, uh,
Yeah, that's what they
because
do. That's what Hulu does, unfortunately, because they have like the exclusive rights to the current playing stuff, and then everything else once it goes to a certain place either goes to Netflix or HBO or Paramount or whoever. So like yeah, you're
but
probably gonna have to look at Paramount or the other thing, Peacock.
and we get because I have the level of internet I have through Comcast, I get Peacock for free.
Hmm.
I actually watched one of the football games live last week, which was nice.
Huh.
Uh, but I will tell you, like other companies have already put out pricing to compete with people that are leaving Netflix. Paramount right now is a 37% discount if you do all year. I'm not even kidding. It's like
Wow.
$48 for an entire year of Paramount, and Paramount has live TV as well. Their app is awful. Their app is it's actually worse than Peacock's app.
Oh, I'm sure.
Um,
I have never watched anything on Paramount. The only thing that I probably watch is the South Park things with people. I have watched them because someone uploaded them on TikTok, so I watched them in videos that way. Um, so like yeah, I'm all ready for the next season that's coming out soon. But Yeah, I don't know. I'm not interested in a lot of these things. They just grab like one little thing that you're interested in hopes that you're going to subscribe and just keep subscribed. But I wonder how many people actually do stay subscribed after that, especially now that there are more subscription services. With
Um,
Netflix, it's like, yeah, um, you would get it for Stranger Things, and you're like, all right, cool, Stranger Things is done. But then you see, I don't know, that there's Daredevil. You'll see that there's all these other shows that they do, or just things that they have licensed, like Seinfeld now. And yeah, you'll stick. I mean, I guess
yeah,
it's a bad example because we're talking about the prices increasing, but like if they weren't, like yeah, like for sure, like you would stick to that more compared to something like Peacock or
yeah,
Paramount.
and my kids do watch a lot of stuff on Netflix, so I will probably keep it. Um, and I actually did that week of Paramount. I think I was telling you I was gonna do it. I found all these classic Nickelodeon shows, uh, and the week I took off around the holidays, I literally watched, like, all the Double Dares, uh, Legends of Hidden Temple,
Salute your
uh
shorts.
yeah, I watched that. My favorite episode, Zeke the Plumber, was on there. I watched all of the Are You Afraid of the Darks? They had so much stuff, but I didn't touch any of their, like their movies are crap,
Yeah.
okay? They had a lot of, like, we would say straight to DVD, like,
Hmm.
movie level. They have a lot of Steven Seagal movies. I didn't even know he was still doing movies, but I guess he is. Um, but they had a lot of those, so the movies aren't there. They do have live stuff,
Hmm.
which was pretty cool, um, but only on CBS.
Okay.
So if there was, like, a live football game on CBS, you could watch it live on there.
Hmm.
But not even just them. Like right now, HBO Max is doing a deal for the first 3 months. Um, you know, they're doing a deal. I saw a deal with a lot of different things. So, they're understanding that they're going to get some of this backlash from them, and they're all trying to capitalize on that.
Hmm.
Um, so it should be interesting to see. I know people are already complaining about it, but they're like me, where somebody in the family, like, I'll give you an example. My wife watches Downton Abbey. She has watched that series. I'm not even kidding, like 7 times.
Yeah.
But the minute I take that Netflix away, that's the only place to watch it.
Yeah. I mean,
And
unless you
and
buy it on DVD or whatever, and no one does
yeah,
that. And honestly,
no,
like even with my family, when I was at their place over the holidays, they only have like one DVD player or Blu-ray player, and that's in the basement. Everything else has an Apple TV or something to that effect, Roku, that's connected to them. So they don't have any way of playing physical media at all. For the most part in any other room. So yeah, if you do take away that subscription service or whatever, then yeah, a lot of people, like at least in that house, wouldn't be able to watch it.
yeah, and like Coco Melon is what my almost 2-year-old daughter watches, and that's only on there. So yet again, we're kind of stuck with Netflix. And to be honest, I don't watch a ton of stuff. Okay, the last thing I watched on there literally was on Sunday. I was like, hey, I want to put something on while I take a nap on the couch.
Yep.
And I was on Crocodile Dundee 2. There you go.
All
I
right.
watched Crocodile Dundee 2. So, uh, I think there's some good stuff. Now, if they're hiking this price up, I want to see some better stuff. So,
Yeah.
we'll have to see on that. Okay, so we do have like another topic. Do you want to hit on this one, or do you want to? Uh, we're almost.
Um, I'm not sure if we have enough time.
We won't say what it is, but we'll use this next time because I feel like
Yeah.
we can definitely throw that in there, and we may hear something between now and then.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because a lot of news is happening. Obviously, gonna be kind of vague. Um, so like like with the Phil Spencer things and stuff like that, like we could hear anything within a week possibly of this particular thing. Um, yeah, so I guess let's just hold off on it because we're about we're about there. We're at the good mark of
We're
time.
spot. We're at the sweet spot.
We are at the sweet spot.
Uh,
So yeah, I guess we will say, because what we've been doing, if I remember the post it, you're actually better at it than I am. We've been doing on the episodes and within like our social medias, things where we have a, what do we call them? Something of the week.
we should call it like
I think
spotlight of the week or
I
something
call
along those.
them I call them something. I'm gonna look at our tweets.
Yeah.
Um, Shout out of the week. I think that's what I call them. Yeah,
Yes.
this week's shout
Uh,
out goes to whoever. Um, so this week's
and we
shout
try to.
out.
Oh, sorry.
No, you
Go
can go
ahead. I
ahead.
was just gonna say, we try to pick people that we follow, we watch. A lot of them listen to the show and are friends of the show. Um, last week was it Dannemeister?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, Dana Master. Yeah,
and he is a fantastic streamer. We watch him quite often. I love watching him because I can't even play the game that he plays.
yeah.
Uh,
He plays so much Sekiro.
oh
Um,
my,
yeah,
he's so good at it.
Sekiro's hard to do. But let's see here. Hang on, I messed up something. Um, now I can't stop comment. But yeah, so our shout out of this week is friend of the show. I hope gluten free waifu, also known as Michaela. She streams on Twitch. She's only been streaming for about 6 months now, but she is already going at 5,000 follows. So like that's a lot.
Yeah,
She mostly plays Pokemon. So like Pokemon Diamond, Shining Pearl. I think she did a little bit of Sword and Shield at some point. Nuzlocke. Um, but like she also does other things like Breath of the Wild, or another thing like Final Fantasy VII remake. I'm trying to
yes,
think of
I've
other
seen.
things that she does, but mostly Pokemon. She's known for Pokemon and opening up Pokemon cards. So like yeah, she recently hit I forget, I don't remember how many I said earlier, but it's actually 1,000 follows. I think I might have accidentally said 5,000. But yeah, 1,000 follows for sure. And yeah, so congratulations on that. And we would like to give her a shout out. So yeah, definitely go follow her if you have the chance. But then also go um, yeah, go follow her. She's on Twitter. She's on TikTok mostly. That's how honestly I found her when she was first starting. She does funny videos on there. But yeah, just Twitch
I
streamer.
will say this because Alex pointed her out, and I said, "Oh, I'll follow her." And excuse me, she is very genuine. I love the positivity on her show, her channel. It's nice and enlightening. She has so many people that watch, but anybody that comes in and says hi, she makes sure to say hi back or whatnot. I do have to call out a pretty funny thing. Is so um, when I am on Twitch, I'm on the Get Out of Gaming Twitch page. That's like ours slash hey, that's like my personal one. And so as I was watching her, I followed her and she's like, oh my gosh. And she said, Alex, is that you? I said, no, it's the other guy. So this is the other guy that does the podcast. So hopefully she listens and hears that. But anyone that listens to our show, definitely check her out. We're gonna do we'll put out a big thing on our Facebook and our Twitter. Check her out, follow her. I think, in what we do, it's great to always give back and like try to help out other people and go and watch their stuff as you guys watch ours.
Yeah,
And everyone we're putting on here, we've either, watched or we talked to or we know. So that's really cool. I think that's
yeah. They have our actual seal approval. This isn't just
yeah.
a random person. This is someone who we actually follow or like we support. So yeah, definitely give her a follow. Give everyone who we've talked about ever a follow, because yeah, they're all good people until they're not. But right now they're good people. I don't want to say they're all good people, because you never
Yeah,
know. You never know.
I mean, I
Eventually.
mean, my thought is because of the work that I do, everyone that we've ever put on here, including her, are seem very genuine to me.
Yeah. Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
you know, obviously, everyone we put on here is very genuine and really cool. So even Vex, like we put on,
Yeah.
a couple weeks, genuine guy. I love watching his streams. So it's really nice to kind of like, even if they get like one or two of our people to go and follow them, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, for sure.
So well, with that, that has been our show this week. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Twitter. This show will release on a Wednesday. Check us out on all major platforms for where you get your podcast from. Also, the video version with me and my video screwing up in the middle of this
Yeah.
will show up, and my cat's tail will show up on Friday on YouTube. Check us out on YouTube at Get At It Gaming uh, there as well. And I'm going to do a real quick thing. I'm going to start putting the link. So if you go to our anchor link, you can leave a voicemail. I would love some voicemails, like a couple voicemails a week, one or two. Um,
Yeah.
I would love that. Just to be able to like listen to them with Alex and be like, oh my gosh, this is a good idea or a good topic.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to put on there.
Yeah. Now I
Put
will
it on.
say, in order to do a voicemail though, you have to make an Anchor account. So come on, let's do it for us, please.
Yes. So um yeah, we love the support you guys are giving us. So with that, get at it.
Get at it. Plus.